Hi, everyone. I just wanted to go over the assignment that is in Module 2 this week. It's for creating a visual schedule, and it's due October 23rd, so you have 2 weeks to finish it. And this is what the assignment looks like on Canvas. It actually begins with a synopsis of why a daily schedule is important. For children, it allows them to understand routines and classroom schedules. Scheduling refers to deciding who will do what and when they will do it. A consistently followed schedule helps make settings predictable for both young children and adults. Having a visual schedule in the early childhood classroom is considered best practice. And what that means is that best practice is a term that's been used to describe what works in a particular situation or environment. When data support the success of a practice, it is referred to as a research-based practice or scientifically based practice. And thus, best practice is a research-based practice. And so having a visual schedule in the early childhood classroom is considered a best practice. A visual schedule will communicate the sequence of upcoming activities. It tells the students where he or she will be, when they should be there. It's designed to match, or it could be designed for an individual student, and you might have a student who needs their individual visual schedule and it's placed on their table or by their desk so they can follow it. It might be a little different than the classroom schedule. Visual schedules enhance receptive language and assist in providing meaning to students. If an adult provides verbal information on the upcoming sequence of events, students may have difficulty with the rapid comprehension required and the fleeting nature of verbal language. So that visual schedule is something they can refer to over and over to remind themselves when they're unable to retain the verbal instructions from the teacher. It also helps students become independent of adult prompts and cues. And recent research confirms that shifting from verbal prompts to visual prompts can increase students' independence and engagement. And that's what you're looking for, right? You're wanting students to be able to move throughout the day independently as much as possible, with you not having to continually check in and make sure they're at the place where they need to be. So for our assignment, you're following the guidelines below. You're creating a balanced schedule for an early learning program. And so you're choosing from these different programs. You can see there's a toddler room that's open for 12 hours, a preschool room from 6 to 6 p.m., 12 hours, or a family care center that is open for 12 hours. Or you could have a 6-hour block schedule for a Head Start program, a full day kindergarten classroom that's from 8 to 2:30, so about 6.5 hours. A before and after school program that is open from 5 a.m. until 8 a.m., 3 hours. And then again from 2:30 until 7 p.m. So what, 4.5 hours. And if you have something else that you're wanting to make a schedule for, then contact me and we can talk about it. So that's step one, is you're choosing what program you're going to create your schedule for. Then here are the requirements for your assignment. You are having to include pictures, times, and words. You need to have at least one solid block time of free play. The schedule should be balanced between child-directed and teacher-directed time. So child-directed is free play, gross motor or outdoor play. Teacher-directed times are small groups, large group reading times. Transitions are minimized for transitions are minimized. So what you might do when you have your schedule, if you're moving from indoor to outdoor, you might allow 5 minutes for that. And so perhaps you're finishing eating breakfast at 9:30, your outside time begins at 9:35 because you've allowed a transition in there. You don't have to write that on your schedule, but the times show that you've allowed for move transitions. Times allotted are appropriate for the activities, and I'll show you what Eckert's environmental rating tool says that is best practice for different lengths of programs, how much time you need outdoors, how much time you need for free play. I think those are the main things that Eckert's talks about. Meals and snacks are included. If you're doing a before school schedule, you're going to have breakfast, right? 5:30 to 8. After school schedule, you'll have a snack. Nap time or quiet times are included if needed. Outdoor times always included, and group times are included, right? Then you'll submit your assignment. So here's an example of a visual schedule, and you'll see that it has a picture, the times, and the words. So those are the 3 requirements on it. And you can see that this is one that is just written in, and you can write in your schedule. It doesn't have to be typed. It doesn't have to be printed off. It can be done in your own handwriting, which sometimes is really valuable for students to see an individual's handwriting. And this is done on a sentence strip. And so you could actually move these strips around. One way to do this, if you had your language, like sign in and table work on an individual sentence strip, you might at some point kind of rearrange your schedule for the day. And so by having it separate, you're able to do that. You don't have to recreate a sentence strip again. So these pictures are okay. They're really, what would it be? Kind of non-representative of the class. The best schedule would be pictures of individual children in the classroom doing the activity. So you would have somebody signing in. You'd have the group at opening circle with, if you're the lead teacher leading it, with yourself as part of the teacher. That's becomes very personable. And there's something about children when they see their classroom represented in a picture, they really own it and they see themselves, oh yeah, that's what I do. I sign in right now because look, there's my friend Susie, she's signing in. So here's another one, and you can see that the time also includes the clock, which is an okay time. Okay idea. It is a little busier, right? When you have this type of, you have the clock, you have the written time, you have the picture, and then the written task. But you can also see that the tasks are separated from the time. So this is an example of how you could move those task cards around and change your schedule without having to make a new task card. So this is an idea, and you need to decide like how busy do you want your schedule to look like, and that would be child appropriate also, right? For toddler classroom, you're not going to use the clock symbol because they don't even know what that is. You might want to start to introduce that in a kindergarten, first, second grade classroom. And again, this is impersonal with just these little cartoon pictures. It'd be great if you had a picture of the actual classroom or students doing the tasks. So here's another one. It's done in 2 columns. And it doesn't have the time. So remember that yours is, that's one of the requirements for your schedule, is to actually have the time and the wording and the picture. All right, so this is from Eckert's. And what you're looking, this is what a daily schedule for Eckert's, what they want to include, right? So the top sample schedule A, the comment is the schedule does not specify that hand washing must take place when children enter the classroom and after breakfast, nor does it specify the time needed to travel to and from the gross motor area. And then on the bottom, The comment is that Eckers does not require this level of specificity. So it does show arrive 7:30, arrive in room, wash hands. However, including this level of detail may help to ensure that key activities are not forgotten. So hand washing is a big deal. You're supposed to wash your hands every time you leave and enter the classroom. All right, so that's why it's included in this. You might think about doing that. If you're in an early achievers or Head Start classroom, this is really necessary to show that you are thinking about children washing their hands. So does the schedule include appropriate amount of time for gross motor play? This is where if you have a 3-hour classroom, Eckers requires that you have 25 minutes of gross motor play, and that could be indoor or outdoor. And then you can see how when you move to the 8-hour classroom, it's 60 minutes required, and that can be split up, right? You can have 2 30-minute recesses or indoor gross motor time, and then include an outdoor gross motor time. So this can help you when you're making your schedule, to use this as a guide to how much time you should have for outdoor time. So here's just another example. There's pictures, there's words, and there's time. And then they actually put down a description of what will be happening during that time, which isn't necessary. It could help other people who come into the classroom to know what's being done at this time, but that's not necessary. So hope this helps you in deciding how to make your visual schedule. Hopefully you've seen them in classrooms that you visited or volunteered or even have taught in. And you can just take a picture of the schedule that you make and upload it. So email me if you have any other questions. Have a great day.